What if I told you the most valuable gemstone on Earth doesn't sit in a museum or a royal crown, but gets thrown away every single day? Hidden inside rocks people call worthless are stones worth millions of dollars. And if you don't know what to look for, you could already be walking past your fortune. Most people walk past it every day. They step over it. They ignore it. Some even throw it away. And yet, hidden inside that unassuming stone could be a fortune powerful enough to change your entire life. What if I told you that one overlooked gemstone, fluorapatite, has quietly entered the world of elite collectors, private investors, and high-value mineral markets, and its price has reached levels most people never see coming? Stay with me, because missing this information could cost you millions. And no, this isn't a fantasy, this is geology meeting opportunity. Pause. Let that sink in. Fluorapatite. Sounds harmless, right? Almost like a vitamin supplement. Funny enough, that's exactly why people underestimate it. But here's the twist. Fluorapatite is not just a mineral. It's a silent player in one of the most competitive gemstone markets on Earth. And while the world chases diamonds, emeralds, and rubies, a new class of rare fluorapatite specimens is quietly being acquired, locked away, and traded at astonishing values. If you've ever wondered whether hidden wealth still exists in this world, this is your answer. Act 1 begins with truth and a little fear, because history shows us something uncomfortable. Every generation has that one asset people laughed at, until it was too late. Gold was once ignored. Bitcoin was mocked. Rare minerals? Still underestimated. Fluorapatite, especially in its highly saturated neon blues, electric greens, and museum-grade clarity, is becoming scarce at the exact moment global demand is accelerating. The fear is not that it won't be valuable. The fear is realizing its value after the doors have already closed. Now let me ask you something. Quick pattern interrupt. If you found a stone worth millions tomorrow, would you even recognize it? Or would it be sitting in a drawer, collecting dust, while someone else profits from your ignorance? That uncomfortable question is exactly why you're watching this video. As we move deeper, Act 2 reveals the transformation. Fluorapatite is no longer just a collector's curiosity. It is now viewed as a strategic gemstone, prized for its intense color zoning, crystal perfection, and extreme rarity in high-grade form. Top specimens are no longer entering open markets. They're being sold privately, discreetly, and globally. And here's what excites serious sellers. Fluorapatite doesn't need to be large to be valuable. It needs to be exceptional. And exceptional fluorapatite is disappearing fast. What makes this even more powerful is the timing. We are living in an age where people want tangible assets that support both wealth and well-being. Fluorapatite's natural connection to balance, clarity, and vitality has fueled its demand not just as a gemstone, but as a symbol of a healthier, more intentional lifestyle. Investors today don't just want profit, they want purpose. And this stone offers both. Funny how a rock can outsmart Wall Street, isn't it? Here's another pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to someone 5 years from now that you almost sold fluorapatite cheaply because you didn't know what you had. Painful, right? That's why urgency matters. Right now, the fluorapatite market is still asymmetric. Knowledge is uneven. And when knowledge is uneven, opportunity belongs to those who act first. Act 3 is where authority meets action. If you are holding fluorapatite or searching for it, understand this clearly. The market rewards confidence, patience, and positioning. This is not a stone you rush to sell. This is a stone you present strategically, authenticated professionally, and offered where serious buyers operate. The difference between thousands and millions is not the stone itself. It's how you understand its story, rarity, and timing. And here's the empowering truth. You don't need to be a geologist, a billionaire, or a museum curator. You just need awareness. Awareness turns ordinary people into early adopters. Awareness turns overlooked stones into legacy assets. And awareness protects you from being the person who let life-changing wealth slip through their fingers. As the video approaches its final moments, let me leave you with this thought. Fluorapatite doesn't announce itself. It doesn't shine like a diamond under jewelry store lights. It waits quietly for the right eyes, the right moment, and the right mindset. And those who recognize it don't just profit financially, they gain confidence, clarity, and control over their future. So the real question isn't whether fluorapatite is valuable. The real question is, are you ready to recognize value when it appears ordinary? Because hidden gemstones don't stay hidden forever. And when the world finally wakes up, the rewards will already belong to those who acted early. Imagine holding a crystal that looks like nature stitched it together with invisible thread. A stone so rare that collectors whisper about it, dealers hunt it quietly, and fortunes change hands without headlines. What if the most valuable asset you'll ever own doesn't look like money at all? Today, we step into the hidden world of rare Faden quartz, a gemstone that appears ordinary to the untrained eye. Yet in elite circles, exceptional pieces command prices that reach into the millions of dollars. Stay with me because what you learn in the next few minutes could permanently change how you see stones, value, and opportunity. This story begins with misunderstanding. Faden quartz is often overlooked, mistaken for common quartz, ignored, even dismissed. That's where the danger lies. Fear is not losing money, it's never realizing what you already have. Faden quartz is defined by its unique thread, or faden, a healed fracture that records the crystal's growth and survival. Nature doesn't repeat this easily. Each authentic Faden quartz is a geological signature, a one-of-a-kind artifact formed under extreme pressure and time. Ask yourself honestly, how many assets on Earth are truly impossible to reproduce? Exactly. And yes, before you ask, no, this is not something you find labeled in a jewelry store window with a discount tag. Act 1 is discovery. Somewhere in the world, often in rough terrain, harsh mountains, or forgotten deposits, Faden quartz forms quietly. No marketing, no noise, just pressure, patience, and perfection. This is why elite buyers value it so highly. They don't buy hype, they buy rarity. And here's the exciting part. Many high-value Faden quartz specimens were once found by ordinary people who simply knew what to look for. Funny question. How many ordinary rocks have you walked past in your lifetime? Don't answer too quickly, it might hurt a little. Act 2 is realization, and this is where urgency kicks in. The global gemstone market has shifted. Wealthy collectors, private investors, and alternative asset funds are moving away from volatile systems and into tangible, portable, historically proven stores of value. Faden quartz sits in a very exclusive category. Rare, finite, and increasingly demanded. Top-grade specimens with strong, visible Faden lines, clarity, size, and provenance are no longer traded casually. They are negotiated, quietly, strategically. The fear here is real because once supply tightens further, entry becomes nearly impossible for latecomers. Markets don't announce their final call. They simply close the door. Now let's reset your attention for a second. Be honest. Did you expect a crystal to outperform some traditional investments? Don't worry, most people don't. That's why opportunity always rewards the informed, not the loud. Faden quartz isn't about speculation. It's about positioning. Knowing how to authenticate, preserve, and present a specimen can mean the difference between a rock and a retirement-level asset. And yes, people are selling these stones legitimately, privately, and profitably right now. Act 3 is transformation. This is where lifestyle meets legacy. Selling a rare gemstone like Faden quartz isn't just a financial move. It's a mindset shift. You begin to think long-term, strategically, calmly. Stress drops when you own something real. Tangible wealth encourages disciplined living, healthier decisions, and clarity. When your money is no longer trapped in noise, your mind follows. There's a reason high-level collectors often live balanced, intentional lives. They understand value beyond numbers. They protect their assets and their health with equal seriousness. As we connect everything together, remember this: Faden quartz is not valuable because people say it is. It's valuable because nature made it scarce, history made it desirable, and the market made it powerful. Fear keeps people ignorant. Excitement opens the door. Urgency decides who walks through it. If you already own such a stone, your next move matters. If you're searching, your knowledge matters even more. And if you're watching this right now, understand this clearly: you are early compared to the masses, but not early compared to the smart money. So the real question isn't whether Faden quartz is worth millions. The real question is whether you'll recognize its value before everyone else does. Because once the world fully catches on, the hidden gemstone will no longer be hidden, and neither will the opportunity you either seized or missed. Imagine walking past an ordinary-looking stone, dusty, forgotten, ignored by almost everyone, and having no idea that in the right hands, in the right market, that stone could command prices most people will never earn in a lifetime. Now pause for a second and ask yourself something uncomfortable. How many fortunes have been stepped on, thrown away, or left buried simply because they didn't look valuable? Today, we uncover one of the most underestimated gemstones on Earth, phlogisite. A hidden giant quietly moving into elite collector demand, advanced science, and private mineral markets worldwide. Before you relax, let me say this clearly. This is not a fantasy story. This is about real stones, real buyers, and real money. And the fear most people should feel right now is not fear of loss, but fear of ignorance. Because the biggest risk today isn't danger. It's not knowing what you already have. Welcome to Act 1. Phlogisite does not announce itself with flashy colors or obvious brilliance. In fact, if phlogisite walked into a party, it would stand quietly in the corner while diamonds screamed for attention. And that's exactly why it's dangerous to underestimate. Phlogisite forms under rare geological conditions, often in volcanic environments, where nature compresses time, pressure, and chemistry into a structure so precise that scientists study it, engineers copy it, and collectors quietly hunt it. Yes, hunt it. Because while the world argues about obvious gemstones, phlogisite is being absorbed into private collections and high-value research vaults. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. What if the most valuable thing in the room isn't the loudest, but the smartest? Think about it. The wealthiest investors don't chase noise. They chase scarcity, structure, and future demand. Phlogisite fits that formula perfectly. Now Act 2 begins, where excitement replaces doubt. What makes phlogisite extraordinary is not just rarity, but function. Its crystalline framework is so advanced that it's used as a model in high-end filtration, catalysis, and advanced material science. When a gemstone becomes useful beyond beauty, its value no longer depends on fashion, it depends on necessity. And necessity creates urgency. The same stone once ignored by miners is now evaluated by laboratories, research institutions, and private buyers who understand one thing very clearly. Control the rare material, control the future demand. Collectors don't ask, is it shiny? They ask, can anyone else get this? And with phlogisite, the answer is increasingly no. Here's a quick reality check, and maybe a smile. If phlogisite were easy to find, we wouldn't be talking about it. We'd be arguing about something else on the internet. Scarcity always whispers before it roars. Right now, phlogisite is whispering, but not for long. Exceptional specimens with structural purity, size, and provenance have entered private negotiations at values that shock people who still think value equals sparkle. In elite mineral circles, seven-figure valuations are not myths, they are quiet conversations. Conversations you're not invited into unless you understand the stone. And here's where lifestyle comes in, because real wealth is not chaos. People who profit from rare assets like phlogisite don't rush, don't panic, and don't burn out. They live deliberately. They eat better, think clearer, and move strategically. Because high-value thinking requires high-energy living. You cannot recognize opportunity if your mind is exhausted and your health is neglected. Let me ask you something unexpected. What's the point of discovering $1 million stone if your body can't enjoy the life it creates? That's why serious collectors and sellers approach this space with discipline, patience, and long-term vision. Now we enter Act 3, where urgency becomes action. If you possess phlogisite, or suspect you might, the most dangerous move is doing nothing. Time does not wait for hesitation. Markets reward those who prepare early, authenticate correctly, and position intelligently. Selling phlogisite is not about listing it publicly and hoping for attention. That's amateur thinking. High-value stones move through private channels, expert verification, and controlled exposure. The people who profit most are those who treat this like a business, not a gamble. And here's the final pattern interrupt. What if the reason you found this information today isn't coincidence, but timing? Rare opportunities tend to surface right before demand accelerates. History proves this again and again. The people who act early are called lucky. The truth? They were informed. Phagicite is not weak. It is not fading. It is not speculative nonsense. It is quietly rising in relevance, demand, and valuation, exactly how powerful assets behave before the world catches on. So whether you're holding a specimen, searching for one, or positioning yourself for future discovery, remember this: wealth favors those who see value before it becomes obvious. Protect your health. Sharpen your knowledge. Move with confidence. Because hidden gemstones don't stay hidden forever. And when phagicite finally steps into the spotlight, the question won't be, is it valuable? The question will be, who was ready?